We part at night, and not by day. Got stories you can't build, but you hear them anyway. Short king cuff, but he's built like a tank. Pharaoh got the man bum with the wisdom in the bank. This ain't CME, it's a mic and a mission. We fuck around and somehow you listen. Cuff Daddy stepping.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to I'm Imposter, not a doctor. It's your boy Cuff Daddy.
And I guess I'm American Pharaoh.
Yeah, that's right. Don't forget who you are.
Is that who I am?
Was it a crazy week for you? You forgot your name?
Dude, there's weeks like I really don't know what's going on. And this is one of those weeks. There's been family turmoil. Like we have illness in the family. I don't want to get into it, but getting better. And then like a lot of shit with the kids and lots of work. And then I get a text from my buddy who I promised him I would help him do a case tomorrow. And he's like, "Hey, you going to help me do the case tomorrow?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah." And then I totally forgot I'm taking my family to the airport for spring break. And then I'm flying out next week. And so I have to wake up at like 4 tomorrow morning to take them to the airport so I can come back, let the dog out to piss, and then go to work, go do the case, then go to clinic. It's just,
You seem to manage it pretty well. Maybe it's like your older age. Like, does that come with age? Because I need help with this part.
Yeah, I think it does because I just like accept it for what it is. And I'm like, okay, how do I manage this? It's not going to stress me out. I just have to figure out like put one foot in front of the other until it all gets done. But I'm not used to it because that used to be my life where it was like every second was accounted for. And then the last few years I've gotten better at being able to give myself time. Like even tonight, I had 6 cases today, came home, literally got home, sat in front of a computer for 3 hours to be on a board meeting. Instead of eating dinner right away, I was like, I need to go downstairs and work out. So I worked out because it was like you said, non-negotiables, because traditionally I would be like, okay, whatever. And then I'd get to bed and be pissed off that I didn't do anything for myself today. So I don't know. I think it comes with age and knowing you're on the back nine of life that, okay, I got to give myself some time.
That's good. I'll tell you, man, because I seem to work the best when I have a lot of shit to do. The problem with it is like I stack it and stack it and stack it. And then like it's all there. And then I'm the type of guy that likes to be ahead of it. So I'm just like, oh, I got all this stuff to do. And then I'm like, you see me and I'm like super stressed out. I'm so busy. I got this, I got that. And then, and I'm in a badish mood, not like as happy as I normally am. And then like today I'm feeling pretty good.
You look great.
Because I caught up on all my work. So I'm good.
Well, it's funny when
thing is, I'm going to like do it again.
I know,
now
but that's your MO. That's your modus operandi.
I need a life coach though, because I shouldn't be stressed out about it, right? It should be, oh yeah, it's just work.
It is just work, but you know what? You're funny because when's your birthday?
I'm in May. I'm a Taurus.
See, I would have figured you were a Gemini because I'm a Gemini, and Gemini are like two different people.
Aren't they like sensitive?
Yeah.
No, I'm not sensitive.
You're not sensitive, but you're like two different people. Like you're like, this is the guy that I like to talk to, but it's funny if I talk to you when it's daylight and you're at work. It's so different because you call me like the other day and you ask me all these questions and then you're like, okay, well, I click. And I wasn't even done like talking. It's like for a guy that can talk to me for an hour and a half at night on a podcast can only talk to me for like 48 seconds by day.
That's a terrible habit that I have. Like, okay, bye. And then I just hang up.
And you just hang up.
Everybody I talk to, so I was like, why do you hang up like that?
And I literally was like looking at my phone like, is he still there? Nope.
I'm just a fast hanger-upper.
He go. Like, boop, boop. No, it's it's one of those things where I think that you have to just care for yourself. You gotta be good to yourself. I used to be really good at taking care of everybody else except myself, and realized that all it did was it made me not happy and resentful and a lot of other things. So I had to like make myself happy. And I always thought that was being selfish. And I realize it's not, because when I'm happy, I make other people happy.
That's right. You see? So it isn't selfish.
Right. It took me 50 fucking years to figure that out.
No, I figured that out. It's just I still need to manage the stress, dude. I feel like it's funny too because I'm like, man, I wish I had one of those like life coaches. Like I need someone outside of my wife to call, like maybe and ask for advice that that's not gonna make fun of me.
What would you
You
ask
know what I
him?
mean? Just like, hey, dude, like had a bad day today. Got crushed in
So
clinic,
you
fell
had a
behind.
bad day. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I just need some words like, oh, Daniel, you're doing great. You're awesome. You're
So you need
amazing.
affirmation.
And yeah, like positive sayings like you're gonna be fine. You've done this before. Like shit like that.
You got this.
You got this. This is nothing.
See, you should make T-shirts with all these sayings or hats.
No, man. I guess I do. No, it's not affirmation. It's more like it's like support. It's
That's
like
affirmation.
how like when shit goes down, you get a complication or something. You just need someone to like complain to about, and like I could call you or you can call me, and then we'll
Right?
just hear it because we feel that. And we're like, oh yeah, I need something like that.
That's fair. And
The
and
problem
so
is like I can't just call you and always when I have a bad day because then you're gonna be like, dude,
I'm going to
Danny
change my
always
phone
calls me,
number.
yeah, when he's a fucking bad day. So
I'm
that's
going to
why.
change my phone number and be like, yeah, I'm
But
out.
there's people out there though. There's coaches, right?
Yes. And as a matter of fact, you're going to tell us who our person is today.
But yeah. So today we're having an outside the box doctor. Well, not ortho, but it's an ENT doctor who's actually a surgeon coach, and her name is Dr. Melissa Thatcher, and she's gonna come and talk to us about our issues.
Well, hello.
What's going
How's it
on?
going? Not much. How are you guys?
We're
We're
good.
good.
So I'm Sharif, aka American Pharaoh. That's Danny, aka the Cuff Daddy. You're Mel
Rotator cuff.
Thacker, aka Surgeon Master Coach. So we found you on Instagram, and we're both surgeons. We're both shoulder surgeons, and we're fascinated
Cool.
by this because on our podcast we kind of like blow off steam, and this is our way of coping with the
With the
stress
world.
with the world, with the stress of I hate the term work-life balance because it should just be balance.
Mhm.
But we came across your page and we're like, oh my God, we need to have this person on. And Danny literally has 100 questions for you.
Okay.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm an ENT surgeon.
I like that.
You guys are
What's
ortho?
what's your
Yeah, ortho.
subspecialty?
No, so I deal with the bone. I deal with bone, the only bone you guys don't deal with.
The zygomatic
Septum.
bone.
Yeah. Well, I mostly septum and sinuses. And yeah, I've been doing that for 13 years,
Nice.
post fellowship now. So
Same.
yeah.
That's cool. You like it? Otolaryngology.
Yes.
Right? Yes. That's a good word.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I love it. I love picking noses and stuff. It's very fun. It's like you're a plumber.
I almost did ENT. It's actually a cool specialty.
It is cool.
It's a little clinic, little surgery, good lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah. But then I beat the video game. Like I won external validation mountain or video game or whatever it is. And then that's when I was like, oh, this isn't what I want anymore. I was like, this isn't what I thought it would feel like.
Well,
What?
that's
Tell us
hold
more.
on. Let's dig
Yeah.
into that because I think I know what you're talking about, but I want you to explain that first.
There was a moment where I was like, okay, I paid off all my loans. I have the house. I got the kids. I got the husband. I have the private practice. Like I am successful on paper. So why am I suffering?
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so yes, it was exactly what I was thinking, and I think for me at least, I validated myself with okay, I'm done with my residency, done with my fellowship, got the job I want. I've done everything that I've wanted to do. So, all right, got the house, got the kids, got the family. All right, let's buy different cars. Okay. All right, let's buy different watches. Okay. And then I was like 40 years old going, the fuck am I going to do with the rest of my life? So
See, there it is, Mel. That's exactly my problem.
Yeah.
So what is it you do? Like, so I was telling Sharif, like, You know, I have my wife and I complain to her a lot, and I have my friends that I complain to, but I was like, I really need like a coach. Like I need somebody in a cloud where like if I have a bad day or if I'm stressed out, I just need to call somebody and tell them what's up. And then I need them to tell me that I'm doing okay. like
And I said that's affirmation and
yeah,
validation.
you know?
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, you can do that for yourself.
Stand in the mirror and say, I am good
Huh?
enough.
Yes. I'm good
so
enough. I'm smart enough, and doggone it.
so
People like me.
what is the surgeon coach then? Like, so did you start like a business and you're like helping other surgeons who are going nuts, like stay sane? What do you do?
Yeah, kind of. People find me going in like various flavors of distress from like frankly suffering, and they just cannot sustain. They're like, this is not going to work. I can't keep doing this. Just dissatisfied. And we help them figure it out. I help them figure it out.
Well, Danny and I have this ongoing debate because he's got 3 kids. I got 3 kids. My oldest is 18 and she's debating on medicine. And I've said it their whole lives you can't be a doctor. I told them they can't be 2 things in life, an attorney and a doctor. And
I love that.
because nobody likes attorneys. And so now she's like, well, I kind of really like medicine. And so now I have to kind of backtrack what I said. And I said, no. I love what I do. I just wish it wasn't so hard. And she's like, what? The work is hard? I go, work is easy. Like my Whoop tells me that my days in the OR, my stress level is 0 minutes because I love what I'm doing. But the problem is the clinic when I have 10 peer-to-peers and denials. And it's just like, it's a criminal enterprise of insurance. And all we do is bash our heads up against the wall and we're always the bad guys. So it's just like you're always vilified, even though you're here helping human beings. You'd like to think we're altruistic. You'd like to think that we're doing this for the right reasons. And I think many of us are. But at the same time, it's gotten to the point where people look at us and say, oh, they're doctors. They're fine. They're rich. They get everything. And you're like thinking to yourself, wait a second, this is coming from a person who's my age, who's got 12 years of a 401k or a pension that I didn't get because while they were putting money away, I was spending money to get to my level. I didn't get my first job till I was 34, probably like you guys. And so it's like, when people hear this, they're like, oh, listen to him just cry about being a doctor. And it's just, it gets you just so frustrated. So I get why people, I hate to use the term burnout, but that moral injury that you talk about.
It's totally moral injury. Yeah. And it's like, it's interesting to me because I think we exact it upon ourselves. I don't think we're victims. I don't think the system is a villain. We created it. We let it happen. Like we have to take responsibility for it. We sold out. We let PE come in. No, we're all just like keeping our heads down, doing our thing, taking care of patients. Like let the business people do the business. Look what they did. That's their job. They generate profit. And so I came to the realization after 10 years in private practice, I was like, I'm not working for insurance companies anymore. And you can either accept it, you can change it, or you leave it. And I wasn't really ready to do direct care. That would probably be the only way. Now I do locums. Okay. So I don't want to know anything about what's happening with insurance companies. Fuck them. I don't want to talk to them. I just won't deal. You can accept it, you can change it, or you can leave it. And so I left a highly lucrative private practice partnership to leave for the unknown. And my husband doesn't work and I'm the breadwinner. And I was like, I'm not fucking doing this anymore.
God bless
That
you.
sounds scary and exciting. That means it was the right thing to do.
I think so. Yeah. Cause there was a year where I was like, cause I started to feel just that division, that internal ripping or suffering where every single day you go to work, you're like, what the hell am I doing? And then I was like, oh, well, I don't have to do this. Like I choose to go here. So for a full year, I was like, I'm choosing this as I was like coming out of my partnership, knowing that I was leaving. And that was like my favorite year because I knew I was leaving at the end of 2024. And that felt like the right thing to do. So I just don't have any, like, it's not that I don't have compassion for people who are like complaining. I just don't have any room for complaining. It's like you can take action to change it.
No, I agree with you.
But you're exactly right. Like the world is still fucked up. It's like two things are true at the same time.
Oh yeah.
It's like the system is fucked and we don't have to tolerate it.
Yeah, but the issue is, and God bless you for what you did, and that's fantastic, and that's ballsy to do what you did. And I think that the issue, however, is we're in this totally fucked system. And in another way, it's like, okay, I want to quit. All right, well, there's non-competes and there's all this other shit that keep you from working, and you can't even move across town because you can't solicit your old patients. So there's all these hurdles in your way if you decide to do something. So you have to really pull the plug like you did and say, you know what, fuck it all. I'm just going to work day to day, week to week, place to place, and I'm going to be fine. And to some people that's great. To others might be like, well, I want my community. I want to help my community. I don't want to keep going to place to place. So there's always an issue, but I love what you did. I just think that it's not, I don't know how old your kids are, but like for me, it's like, oh, I did this 2.5 years ago. I quit after 17 years in my practice. I literally walked in one day, here's my letter of resignation, and I started my own practice. And
amazing.
I was scared because it's terrifying, because I'm looking at my kids at the time. They're what, like 15, 13, and maybe 10 at the time. And I'm like, if this doesn't work, I'm fucked.
But it worked.
But it worked.
We knew it was
well, that's the thing, because like my kids are 10 and 12, and I'm like, we don't realize that we have really smart brains. We can develop entrepreneurial skills. Like people are out there in other industries doing marketing and selling and business. They're not smarter than us. They don't have any special elixir. Like we can learn all that shit. We just have to have the desire to do it. If we can be successful in surgery, we have a good work ethic. We can be successful in any domain. So I was like, if that's true, then I can leave this. And if I don't have a codependent relationship with my profession, then I can just leave it behind when it's treating me. It's like being in a toxic marriage. That's what we're all in, toxic marriages. And I was like, I will not be the battered woman in this toxic marriage with these asshole insurance companies.
I love it.
That's
you have a book? You got to write a book about this shit. You got a book.
I do have a book coming out.
I knew it. See, I knew it. I got to buy it. What's the book called? When's it come out?
Scrubbing Out.
I love that.
The title is fire.
That is fire.
That's gonna slap.
Is it good?
Sure.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that's
a great title.
Yeah.
Because I think many people will look at that and just be like, "Oh my god, I got to read that," because I guarantee I'm feeling everything she felt.
Well, it's kind of like it's all about my journey from my own like mental health struggles and panic attacks in the operating room, which I think was my nervous system like hitting the button. It was like, bitch, you got to listen. Like your body will talk to you in a whisper and you can ignore it until you can't anymore. And then it was my own, going through and figuring things out. And then finally it ends with me talking to my partners and I'm like, yeah, I got to leave.
Good
I'm
for
all done
you.
here.
No, and see, this is what I think. If you and I had done what we did 20 years ago, they'd have been like, oh, look at those two quitters. They couldn't hack it in medicine. But now all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, look at those two. That's pretty impressive to do that at this stage. And it's weird for me even to say, because I don't think I've succeeded all the goals that I've set forth so far, but I can see already in your face that you're at peace, which is awesome. Because Danny, he's at peace tonight. This is Danny at peace. But then there's other nights where you're talking to him and he's got his phone up. We're doing our pod. He's looking at other shit. His microphone's off. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah. You know what it is I'm living the dream, and like I joke about it, but it's true. Like I also switch jobs. I'm in a group and do some stuff on my own, like very entrepreneurial, and I get really busy, and it's what I wanted. So I have to tell myself, this is what you wanted. This is what you wanted. And I'm great. But I was telling him, like, managing the stress is still hard for me. Like, I'll be like super stressed out as everything piles, and then I chop it all up and I'm done. And then I'm super happy because I'm all caught up with my work. But then what'll happen is I'm going to start getting bored in the next few days, and then I'm going to do it to myself all over again. But I think he knows me for years now. He's just like, that's how you roll. That's how I work.
It's your mania.
Yeah. It's my mania.
I think that's ADD.
Potentially, but I don't like to give it a name.
You don't, no labels here.
It's just me. It's
Like
just me. I'm not gonna give it a name.
it's just Danny.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you're a striver.
how did you learn all this stuff? Like, I mean, obviously you've had your own battles with all this stuff. So did you do therapy or did you read a lot? Like, where did you get your knowledge base? Because you're obviously, you know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I did coach training through Martha Beck. She's, I guess, Oprah's coach, which is kind of cool.
So she's
And
legit.
yeah, and so I went through her program, and then I did master coach training. I found some podcasts. I read a whole bunch of books. I just like jump in, completely head first, and I was like, this is amazing. Once I started learning this stuff, I was like, I couldn't get enough of it. I was like devouring it. Couldn't stop.
So how long did it take to get to that moment where you're like, oh my God, that's exactly what I needed to read or hear or listen to or be taught? And what was that thing?
Yeah, I think I was ready to receive that after I came out of my emotional distress. I think a lot of us have stored trauma. So I went through my own period of just becoming regulated in my nervous system. I was completely dysregulated. And once I got through that and I was like, okay, now I'm better. I'm sleeping. I'm regulated. I can do this. And I thought I would get to the point where I'm like, okay, I'll just go to my private practice and be a surgeon for the rest of my life. And then I was listening to a podcast by somebody named Brooke Castillo. It's called the Life Coach School Podcast. And she was talking about how thoughts create your feelings and feelings drive your actions and actions produce your results and your thoughts create your results. And I was like, what? I was like, your thoughts create your feelings? Like, I don't know why that's like so revolutionary, but I was like, what?
Yeah.
And you can choose how you think. And then I was very obsessed with this whole idea that you're one thought away from creating something in the world. And so I was like, oh, I'll create a podcast. And my thought was, if this helps one person, all be worth it. And now I'm a year and a half or more in, and it's like growing. I never launched. People just found it just because it's a passion project, labor of love. And then I was like, oh, well, I'm terrified of public speaking. So I want to do a TEDx talk. And I was like, I just decided, I was like, I can do a TEDx talk. I'm going to do one. And so I pitched an idea, and then I had another one, and then that was selected for like an editor's pick, which is a really big honor. And now my talk has 230K views. And yeah, and like even my Instagram following, I was like, I just have something, people need to hear this, I think was the thought. I was like, they got to hear this. And so I pull out my phone in between patients and I just do a video. And I was like, I'm not redoing it. I'm just doing it one time.
So
because I'm not going to sit here and like
clean
obsess.
And organic.
Yes. So I think like I realized that if you have a desire and you're aligned with the right intention, you can create anything.
You know, you are a breath of fresh air in medicine. No, I'm being serious.
I love it. She's so happy. We should.
I know. Well, because I think, I mean, so I was at the hospital today, did 6 cases, and it's funny because there's the OR, and then there's this threshold, this door, and it's the waiting room. And it's really weird because when you're behind in the OR side, you're just watching all these fucking doctors and nurses and scrub techs and everyone's kind of like tunnel vision. But then you walk through that threshold to that door to go talk to family after the case is over. And it's totally different because those people are waiting for the words from your mouth that everything went great. And they're so happy. And all of a sudden, your emotions come back in. You're like, oh my God, yeah, they did great. And they're on the road to recovery and da-da-da-da-da-da. And then you're just like, you walk through that door again to pre-op to go see your next patient. And you're back in the like, it's the most bizarre kind of, it's a circle because you go from one to one to one, and your emotion and your personality kind of changes in each one. And so what I'm trying to say to Mel right now is you're a breath of fresh air, because I think we got to get better at, even in those moments where we're in that area of the OR, to be kind and be nice. And I mean, I'm very conscious of that because I probably was a dick early in my career.
We all were.
Or maybe still. But I think that there's a goal where keep the smile on your face. I want people, like, when you walk in, be like, oh, Bichet's here. Oh, this is going to be a great day, versus like, cliches here. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And so
don't do
to
like
hear
that.
your positivity, it just makes you realize that we can be positive in medicine. But
Yeah.
I know. I hate saying that. That's why I've told my kids you can't be a doctor, is because I just don't want them to get those moral injuries and be punched in the gut on a daily basis.
Well, I think that's like what my nervous system was seeing, because I was looking at my senior partner, who will not be named. Love you. But I can see how hardened this human being is by pain and how fake and how we pretend and shove stuff down and don't pay attention to like who we really are, because we are trying to be somebody that we think culture tells us we should be. We're trying to live out the dreams of a past self. And I like vividly remember the death of a urologist in our community. And like he worked all the way up until he died of pancreatic cancer. And he had such a hard end. Like his wife had recently died and she had a whole story around her death. And I was like, man, if like Dr. Blute looked at his life and he was like, yeah, that's my life, I don't think he would have chosen that. Like he's in the OR crying, the poor guy, like crying because he's no idea what else to do. So I'm like, what the hell are we doing? We're obsessed with our careers. We don't know what we are without the title of surgeon. We don't have a diversified identity. I was like, there's no way in hell I'm going to be 70 or 80 years old and they're ripping like the scalpel out of my hand. Like I don't want to have a codependent relationship with my profession. I want surgery to be like, take it or leave it. I'm here because I love it. And if I don't love it, I'll walk away.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. See, I'm going to use that tomorrow. Codependent relationship. That's good.
Where
it is with the profession.
Where do you live?
In Massachusetts, like outside of Boston.
Nice. Okay.
Nice. Boston,
I'm in
cool.
Detroit. He's in LA.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Yeah,
So
I don't have a lot of ENT friends though. I used to when I worked at my other job, but all the new houses, I was trying to think. I was like, I don't see any ENT people. Maybe they're in different surgery centers.
They kind of do their own thing.
And like, I think the happy ones like have hobbies, you know, like they're in a band or, you know, they're not just surgeons. That's what I'm realizing.
We have hobbies. We golf. We have dogs.
Yep.
We do travel a lot though. We are pretty into our careers. We can't lie about that, Sharif.
No, but I'm at a different stage. Like, I think for me, early on, I was all in and probably too far all in. And I think, Danny, I told you this story, but I'll tell Mel. But so this is probably maybe 4 or 5 years into my practice, maybe 4 years. And my daughter was at the time 4, my son was 2. And I was doing like 750 cases a year and I was just killing myself. And I thought I thought that was the goal. Because my wife and I would say, you know, the first 5 years, balls out, and then we'll figure it out and then we'll start coasting. And so you set these goals, and some of these goals come from fucking nowhere. And this was one of those. And I was doing all these cases. And I remember my ENT friend he's at my club and I wasn't feeling well. And I was like, what is this thing? And so he's like palpating it. And he's like, wow, does that hurt? I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, so we go on. And he's like, I want to get a CT scan of that. I'm like, okay. So we get a CT scan of it. And he's like, ooh, it's like heterogeneous and it's all this. And he starts using terms and I'm like, ooh, that's bad. And I immediately in my head start thinking to myself, well, this doesn't make any sense because I'm working as hard as I can to try to be there for, you know, my family and provide and da 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 da. And now I'm going to be sick. And he's like, well, it could be lymphoma and it could be this. I'm like, holy shit. So all of a sudden I would come home, look at my kid, think about like my kids growing up without a father. I mean, because my dad died when I was young. So I was like thinking, oh, here we go. History repeats itself. And so we going on and on. We do some more testing. He takes a biopsy and he goes, oh, it's fine. It's mono. It just had a huge node that was, and he's like, you ran yourself into the ground.
Yeah.
At like 4 years into practice, I was like, fuck this. I'm going to do it at my pace, the way I want to do it. And I'm going to do the things I want to do. I'm going to consult because I want to do that. I'm going to design stuff because I want to do that. And that's what I've done.
What do you design?
So like Danny and I are designing some orthopedic stuff for shoulder replacements. I'm designing an anchor
Bone
right
toys. You know,
Yeah,
Fun.
it's just ortho toys.
It's like
yeah,
Tinker
like
Toys.
screws with metal. Like,
Yeah.
we're
So,
just a
but
bunch of little kids. You know,
yeah,
Love it.
it's
yeah,
erector set stuff. So,
Mhm.
pretty much.
but yeah,
Yeah.
but it took me getting sick to realize that. And it was, again, I think it goes back to what you said. It's like I put this idea in my head and I tried to achieve it because I said, that's going to make me happy.
Mhm.
It didn't make me happy. It made me sick. And that's what's crazy. It's like you have to have well-defined goals. But who helps you design those goals? I guess is that you? Do I sit with you and say, Mel, like help me guide my next 10 years? Is that what I
Yeah,
do?
I mean, that's such a great question because like you have to understand who is setting the goal. Is it your social self or your essential self? And so we have two sides. Our essential self has the roadmap of our life. It is you. It is the one unique individual that you are. You know, like your kids are born and you're like, just because you breathe, just because you exist, like you're amazing. I don't know what human this will become, but can't wait to find out. But we don't like do that for ourselves. We think that we have to like prove something. But our social self is really awesome because it has all of the things that we need to get where we want to go. It's the thing that gets us up in the morning and drags our ass to OR. Our essential self wants to sleep in. But if we don't check in with our essential self and we're like, where do we need to go? Because it's always ever evolving and changing. Like when I was 13, I was like, I'm going to be a doctor. And then when I'm 41, I'm like, I don't really love being a doctor full time. Now I want to write a book and be a coach and be a speaker. And I didn't check in with myself to know that I had these other desires to help other people in a different way. Like it's almost like the book From Strength to Strength by Arthur C. Brooks. He talks about two curves. You have the fluid intelligence curve and then crystallized intelligence. And so like the second half of your life, I mean, this is why we have midlife crises, I think, because we're living on the first curve. We have to make sure we get to the second curve. The first curve is knowledge. The second curve is wisdom. Like the first curve is all about us. Let me take care of myself. Let me get all of the power and status and wealth. But then the second half of our life is like, how can I give back? I need community. I need service. Otherwise, I feel empty and I feel like a schmuck. And so it's like we have to figure out what that looks like. But we have to be creative. There has to be some creativity in the second half of life. And nobody tells you that. They're not like, hey, you're going to get all of the things. You're going to climb external validation mountain. And then you're going to be like, is this it? And the arrival fallacy. And then you have to find your second mountain. And that's going to be a mountain of community and giving back. And that's the only way. Like, I mean, that's like the recipe for happiness. They should tell us this in like grade school.
Yeah.
They should be like,
what kind of books are you on? Put me onto a book because I feel like you read some good ones. What if you were to recommend a book for me, just so I can like have the knowledge that you have? Right
I would read.
I heard about Strength to Strength already.
You've read From Strength to Strength?
No, I actually have it. Haven't read it.
Okay, you have it. Okay, read that one. And it starts like the first chapter. He's talking about being on an airplane and seeing like this famous actor who's like, I've never done anything. It shows you how our brain forgets. Like probably if we talk to you, you're like, have you done anything in your life? You're like, I don't know. But if you look at your resume, you look amazing. Like we forget all of our accomplishments.
Because we're only as good as our last surgery.
That's right.
Danny and I were talking about that because God forbid it was a bad outcome. That's all you think about. You've helped thousands of people.
Yeah.
But it's that one case that just like totally takes your legs out.
And if it's not AFT, then you're nobody, right?
Oh, she knows AFT.
She knows AFT.
AFT, your dog shit.
And a fucking Tomic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ortho is like my number one client.
Really? Because we're a bunch of fucking lunatics.
No, it's women probably because it's just the bro culture is very, obviously imposter syndrome can happen with women because they're like, where are my size of gloves? Why doesn't this power tool fit in my hand? No wonder they're like, do I belong here? But men come to me too in ortho for different reasons, not imposter syndrome reasons. They usually come because they're like, I'm bored. What do I do with my life? I'm having a midlife crisis.
I told you I wasn't the only one, Sharif.
I already had my midlife crisis, so I'm past it.
Yeah, I do feel bored sometimes, right? You're like, you could only get so good and so fast at doing shoulder replacements, and it's still rewarding. But yeah, you got to like spice it up. So, me and Sharif, we go to meetings, we teach, we talk, we get involved with, design stuff, and we have this podcast. So that's exactly why we have the podcast too, because we just need a bullshit.
Yeah.
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 Totally. A podcast is I love podcasting. It's so fun.
You know what the funny thing is? I think we have like 4 listeners, and I'm
You have more
happy
than that.
for those 4 people to listen
We'll
to us.
send you
No,
analytics, Mel.
Oh my God.
no, I
So
hope
funny.
we have more than 4.
So,
But
Mel, you've done a lot so far in this realm. Like, so what's next? Like, what are you doing next? Like, what's your goals right now with regards to like the surgeon coaching and that part of it?
So I co-founded a company called the Hippocratic Collective. I don't know if you followed that. I'm not the main person, but Frances May Harden is another ENT doc. She's the main co-founder. She completely left surgery, and it's a multimedia company for doctors. So it has a publishing arm. We have a bunch of podcasts. My podcast is through that. It's resources, doctors, medical students. It's we have. I'm not really sure where we're going with it, but we're just like, it's kind of like the Barstool Sports, I guess, of
Perfect.
medicine is what the whole like vibe is around it.
That's cool.
And so I have a book coming out, and I have my clients. Like, that's like my favorite thing. Like, I just love talking about this stuff. We meet every single Wednesday, my surgeon group, and it's like so much fun. Like, we talk about complications and we have authentic conversations. And it's just like, I don't have any tolerance for pretending and talking about things that are not real. So it just like is my favorite thing to just talk about real shit and what's really happening with people and what their thoughts and feelings are. And then I do locums 1 week a month. So I go play doctor is what I think of it. It's like the easy part of my life. Cause it's like muscle memory, right? Once we start doing this, I can do it in my sleep. Taking care of patients is easy. It's fun. It's rewarding. But I indirectly help patients by resourcing surgeons that come find me.
no, that's fantastic. It's weird because surgeons, like you said, most initially are not authentic, and you can kind of feel that with younger surgeons, and it's changing though. Where you almost feel like there's this like peacocking with the younger surgeons to try to keep up with the tenured, attendings. And I think it's changing though. So I had a really nice interaction today. So this young surgeon, he's been out for 8 months. And most of these guys are usually quiet, don't say anything, and they just kind of like there's 2 types usually. One that's like, fuck everybody, I'm going to go and I got to do this, or the other ones that are just kind of like wallflowers. But this kid was really cool. He walked up to me and he introduced himself, and he's like, I've been in practice for 8 months, and he started asking me these questions. We've never met, but he started asking me these questions, and I was like really impressed by him because he was asking questions that I wish I would have at 8 months into practice.
Oh.
And I was really impressed.
Like what?
He was just like, so, okay, I'm trying to build my practice. He's a joints guy. And he's like, there's a lot of guys in my groups that are doing this. And I'm doing a lot of pus, but you know what? Like pretty much like, gosh darn it, I'm going to have my own primary total joint soon. But he was just like, means to an end. I'm going to work hard. And he was like, so like, what was it like when you started? And I was like, it's like 7 a.m. I'm just starting my cup of coffee. And I was like, it took me back, but I loved this conversation. And so now if I have some total joints, I'm going to send it to, because I only do shoulder replacements. So if knees and hips, I'm going to send him to this kid because he engaged me in a way that like, he doesn't know me from Adam. And I can imagine if he spoke to me like that, like a peer, he's probably wonderful with patients.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I would love to send my patients to this kid, because I think there's this change where we couldn't have done that 20 years. I've been in practice. This is my 20th year. And I think that this whole like ability to talk about mental health and ability to say that I'm not doing well, it's okay now. So these younger people are able to say things. I mean, sometimes they embellish and maybe are a little dramatic and say I'm triggered and say things like that. But but at the same time, I like that people can talk like that, because then they, I think, can achieve the things that you're talking about. I think that I'm hoping you can get many of these people, like my generation, over the hump to talk about this stuff, because I can only imagine what the ortho bros are talking about, because we're all the same, and we're all like, I did this, I put up 350, I bought a new car, I bought whatever, I have this new house. But then they're like, inside they're just dying.
I know. But it's just like relational competence. I think if we learn how to relate to ourselves first, I mean, we come from a generation, I think, where our parents like had us cry it out. So like we don't feel safe being vulnerable with emotions. And
You're weak
radically
if you're
transparent
vulnerable.
and vulnerable.
You're weak.
Yeah. And that's not true. I think vulnerability is strength. I actually had a plastic surgeon on my podcast, which is like so fascinating. His name's Dan Ward. I didn't realize that he was like 1 month fresh out of getting out of jail for domestic abuse until later on. But
when you had him on your podcast?
Yeah, he came on my podcast. I had no idea. I just like, he reached out and I was like, absolutely. And we were talking about like his traumas from childhood. And, he like shed some tears, and he was like talking about his anger management issues. And then later on, they're like, hey, did you know that, he was in jail for a domestic abuse charge? And I like, that is like my whole brand is there are no villains. Like people are not their behavior. We act a certain way because of our lived experience. And so you have like this quote unquote monster who maybe like beat his wife, domestic violence. And apparently he was not very nice to his staff. He's still out there like working, and I have nothing against him, but he was talking openly about his own trauma. Hurt people, right? So it's like an animal who's lashing out. And I think there are a lot of surgeons, a lot of doctors who are kind of at capacity and who carry trauma and who do not do things that they're proud of. They do not act in a way where they go to bed and they're like, yeah, that was awesome. I was like an ace today. And my goal is to get everybody to like go to work with their will, and then to go to bed at night and be like, wow, all these things were thrown in my face and I handled it like a boss. Like all of the curveballs that happened, it was just like surfing the waves.
That's Danny.
Like that's my goal.
Yes.
But it's when you bring that up, it makes me think, and I guarantee you've read it, watched it, listened to the podcast, Dr. Death, the
totally.
first season.
That was good.
With
I've dove into that too.
Yeah,
I know
with it was Christopher Dunch. Yeah. So like when you watch that or hear that, the part that continues to stick in my brain, I don't think he was maliciously trying to hurt people. Mm-mm. I think that and why I think they beat it up on one of the episodes about him at football practice not being able to get the whatever.
I think it's CTE.
Yeah, well, it's not even just that. I think it was they were trying to run a play or do something, and he could not do it. And they finally said, fuck it, you're done. And he's like, no, I gotta do it. And he even like stayed late and tried to keep doing it. So part of it, like to me, is we interview people for residency spots and fellowship spots and, for partners and whatnot. The problem is some people have really good brains, but what goes from their brain to their fingertips isn't. They just don't have the hands. They just don't have the capabilities, but in their brain, they do. So I wonder, like, is Christopher Dunch like guilty of thinking he was better than he was? But then you also hear he only did like 100 cases in his entire residency in 7 years. And so it's like, okay, now there's some culpability of University of Tennessee or wherever he trained. It's like, how do you graduate this guy? So I don't know. I guess what I'm getting at is it because he worked 7 years through a residency that he has told himself, I can do this, regardless of if people get hurt or not. I'm going to keep trying until I get it right. Well, out of 38 people, you maim or kill 33. That's a problem. So,
yeah.
like,
I think he's an outlier, but I think he's got so much, there's a lot of psychology going on there, like of psychopathy.
Yeah. And a coke habit.
Yeah. You gotta throw that in there.
Well, but I mean, I don't know. The whole thing's weird. But Mel, I fell
down a Reddit hole. Like I read, like he was a complete egotistical maniac in residency. Apparently, I think he's a guy who's like really stuck in his ego and in narcissism, right. And he has the vision of I'm going to be the like rich whatever spine surgeon, and then you have the system that protects people like that, and you don't have the fail safes to really, for whatever reason, like follow up and say like, okay, well, after your first or second or third or fourth or fifth complication, like maybe we shouldn't give you privileges, or
But
we
the
should look into
hospitals
this.
just walk away. They wash their hands of it because they're more.
Yeah, and I interviewed actually a Black orthopedic surgeon. He's like, he brought that up and he was like, if that were me, he's like, I would be in jail like after like the second case. It's just like a white dude in ortho,
Right.
who makes money for the hospital.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. You make money for the
Sadly.
hospital. It comes down to money. It comes down to attorneys. It comes down to, well, what's our exposure if he sues us? I mean, and it's like, shouldn't matter because we don't want these places like these hospitals and these systems to let people get hurt because you're worried you might get sued for wrongful termination. But this is entering a whole different side of medicine that, you know, this
that's an outlier.
Yeah,
like even,
I know.
Yeah, but it's sensational and fun to talk about.
Oh, 100%, because what he looked at in the mirror was not at all what was real.
No, he was like in there just not even seeing anything and like a pool of blood and just ripping people out, you know, ripping like their joint, their spine out.
Yeah,
you can't do that.
He took his buddy's C5 and C6 completely out.
Maybe that's a new procedure he thought he made up. I don't know.
They decapitated him, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So sad.
That's pretty wild. Well, we digress though, but I do want to, so your book Scrubbed Out, that's coming out. What about your podcast? Because I'm sure we're going to get some new listeners for you, but what's the name of your podcast?
Yeah, Surgeons with Purpose.
And then are you guys on like, what are you guys on?
Spotify, Apple.
So all the places.
All the things. I think all the places. I'm pretty sure.
So we're definitely going to tune into that. I know I am. Get some free therapy.
Yeah,
I
totally.
need it.
Just listen to my podcast and you'll get like I basically give so much there. I talk about everything. All of my journey is just like laid out in my podcast.
Yeah.
Starting with an imposter syndrome is my first episode.
It's a good one. No, but Mel, thank you for being open and vulnerable and honest and wholesome, because I think those are terms not often used with surgeons.
Yeah.
And I think they should
it's
be.
like pediatricians.
Yeah, kind of. And I think it should be, because I think I hope you're a guiding light to many of the people before they get in trouble, and that they can hear your stuff and see your stuff and reach out to you if necessary, so that they can keep taking care of patients and, more importantly, take care of themselves. Because I think that's the problem. I think we get lost in, I need to care for everybody. And I was saying before you came on, it took me over 50 years to figure out that it's not selfish to take care of yourself and be good to yourself so that you can be good to others. I always thought I had to be good to others so that I would feel good, but it's the opposite. And so you're amazing at all the things you say. And I can't wait to like dig into a lot of the stuff that you're talking about, because I have over the last, 10 years done some therapy, and it's helped so much. And I'm willing to talk about it because I wouldn't have done that 10 years ago. And so I finally did it. And I was like, holy shit, that made so much difference. So good for you for living your dream and living it out the way you want.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that you had therapy too. And yeah, I always talk about like, it's being a surgeon is simple. All you have to do is serve the patient and protect the asset. And like, we forget to protect the asset. That's us, but we can't forget that.
No, we cannot. And then do you want to say something? I think that we had you on, you had to reschedule because you had your own like retreat. Do you want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah. I did do a surgeon's retreat, and we have another one coming up in Norway. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, in August.
Let's go to Norway, Danny.
You can. I mean, it actually is going to be men and women. The first one was just women surgeons. This one is men and women. And the whole idea is this whole thing where I'm like, you're one thought away from creating your next big thing. And so we're going to dive into all the coaching work to turn your thoughts into reality.
Good for you. That's fantastic.
That cool.
Mm-hmm. At the place where they do Secession. It's that place Juve, and they also do Ex Machina. It's that same
Ex Machina's good.
Location.
Wait, so how do you get involved in this? Is it on your website? Is it?
Get in my newsletter, melthackercoaching.com. I do a lot of like webinars. Like today, I just did a webinar about mistakes, complications, and missed expectations. Yesterday was about psychological safety in the OR. Oh, you get in my newsletter.
Awesome.
always like creating learning spaces to talk about all of the things that I think are exciting.
I learned so much already. Please don't send me a bill.
I won't.
I got a little notepad going.
Good for you, man. I'm so proud of you, Danny.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on though, Mel. I know it's
You're
a little
welcome.
late,
Thanks
but
for having me.
You were a blast. You're great. Thanks for coming.
We're going to bring
Yeah,
you back
thank you.
on from time to
Yeah.
time.
Absolutely. I would love it.
Oh, we would love it too.
Yeah.
Well, have a
Yeah, this is
wonderful
so fun.
night. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep just being a guiding light.
I will. This is my favorite thing. I love it.
Well, you're very good at it.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks so much for coming on.
So she's awesome, dude. We always have the coolest guests, man. I want to be a cool guest on somebody's podcast. Nobody ever invites me on their
I want to
podcast.
come back as one of our guests when I'm
You?
going. Yeah, because we have cool guests. So I want to come back as a
You're
guest.
so smart and knowledgeable, and like we always get free intel. I love it. That was
That's
probably
kind of
like $1,000 session.
Oh, 100% it was.
Yeah.
I mean, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to write me a check for $1,000 and I'll write you a check for $1,000.
Okay, done.
Perfect.
Cool. And we'll give Bobby a little tip.
Okay.
All right, guys. That's it for today, guys. Thanks for tuning in to I'm a Podstar, Not a Doctor. It's your boy Cuff Daddy, and we're out.
And it's your boy, American Pharaoh. Find us where you find your socials. Find us on YouTube. And more importantly, take care of yourself so you can take care of others.
We part at night, not by day. Got stories you can't build, but you hear them anyway. Short king cuff, but he's built like a tank. Pharaoh got the man bum with the wisdom in the bank. This ain't CME, it's a mic and a mission. We fuck around and somehow you listen.